Hello and good morning. Now, a beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset. The moment you start acting like life is a blessing, it'll start to become one. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, beautiful people. It's a happy Tuesday morning.
But of course, Tuesdays are the best days. That's why I was born on one. Yes,
Aww.
Every time we say good morning here on your premium breakfast show, we are saying, go make a difference, people. Get out there, touch a heart, spread kindness, encourage somebody, and most of all, enjoy your day.
Of course, so what is life without impacting someone positively? Even if it's just the next person in your neighborhood, you never know. That's why we come ready with so much fanfare and color every single morning, just to brighten your day.
Yes, a fresh start is what we bring, and we promise to keep you glued all through for the next 2 hours to your TV sets. So don't stop watching. It's Wake Up Nigeria, and the show begins now. Interestingly, the Wake Up Nigeria cookout is also something that we'll be telling you about plenty today. Yeah. But first, let's introduce the one, the only, Mary, and then there's Mike.
You see how you introduced?
Wow, Mike.
Kilo man,
Who are you calling?
Kilo man, you don't know what Mike is doing. Please don't mind Mike. Mike is a very mobilukos person, as almost we say.
Mary is a magician.
Wow.
Mazino.
Well, what's she trying to do?
Look at what he's look at what he's trying to display.
Well, yeah, okay.
What?
Let me tell them what it is, yeah? People out there.
Mazino.
Mary has this very interesting phone she's had for 9 years. It's held together with a rubber band. She has another phone, no? She has another phone. But it's a part of Wake Up Nigeria, this phone. We can't do without it. Mary, I'm sorry.
It's not me, Mary. It's not me. But the truth is, there is a perfect explanation for everything.
Mary's gonna kill me.
A special person gave it to her. She can't let it go. But I'm excited to say that you can watch this space for updates when it comes to the Wake Up Nigeria cookout.
Yes, tell them, please.
You'll be able to come see so many amazing people come cook right here in the TVC Communications compound.
You won't be doing it for nothing. That's because you are going to be, well, contesting with 4 other contestants and for a grand prize of 100,000 naira. Come with nothing, leave with 100,000 naira.
Yeah.
Have plenty of fun. Come with your friends and family.
Yes,
and it's
indeed.
absolutely easy, just like that. So you don't want to miss that. All you need to do is actually just get up on your social media handles and give us a little video of you doing your thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's your entry. You remember to use the hashtags that we'll be telling you which ones exactly, and we will pick you guys and bring you over just this weekend.
So you're probably wondering who we are. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
They know who I am.
No, they don't.
For those of you who don't, my name is Mazino Appeal. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of this breakfast show. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, of course. We need you to follow us on our social media handles so you can follow through with the show. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, all at TVC Connect.
Now, let's tell you what we have for the show today for a beautiful Tuesday.
We're going to be having a conversation on parenting. Modupe Ainla, the founder of iMom Zone, is going to be in the building. Now, that's a platform for mothers focused specifically for first-time pregnant, first-time new moms, first-time toddler moms. We're going to be discussing training or raising a child. What are you doing?
Now joining us for a musical performance, Bajulai Uluashil, an upcoming gospel musician who believes in the power of music for edification. Nice word. He will be here for a spirit-filled rendition.
Love it, love it, love it. Now, we also have a health conversation coming your way. Interesting topic, physiotherapy and incontinence with Dr. Remilekun Durojaye. Now, she is a physiotherapist. She has over 33 years experience, and she's also the clinical director for Special Olympics Fun Fitness Nigeria. So, yeah, you might be able to find some solutions to that problem. Stay tuned.
And of course, finally, Kayode Kasum, a Nigerian movie and music video director and producer, will be here for an interesting chat.
Father, we pray that any sin that we have committed.
All right.
Welcome
Good
back,
morning.
people.
Yes.
Hey, Mary.
How you doing?
How's it going?
I'm trying to be happy.
Why? Why? It's a happy
What
Tuesday.
happened?
What now?
Well, so I cannot go into details yet because investigations are ongoing.
Oh.
But yesterday, I went to a police station to file a report for the very first time in my life. I've never done it. So I'm just going to give sketches, but let's just say that someone tried to play a fast one on me.
Did they succeed?
Yes, they did.
Oh, no.
Was it product like?
I'll tell you all about it
Okay.
because
All right.
I cannot talk about it because it's now beyond
Okay.
me. But the thing is, yesterday I actually learned a lot about the police force. Apparently, wherever you do a transaction is where you have to make a report. So I had to go back to where I did the transaction because where I was when I did the transaction. So that was the police station I had to go report to. And
Were they helpful?
very helpful, as a matter of fact.
good-
I should give a shout out to two of them, the CIO,
Okay.
Kemi Ogunshakin, as well as Inspector Olime. They were very, very helpful yesterday.
Interesting.
Yeah, very helpful.
So it's very
Police
rare that you hear
is your friend.
positive
Positive,
stories. Yes.
Police is your friend.
Yeah, they are in this case.
You know, and interesting.
I don't want to
today,
go into details,
Today,
Jacob.
yeah. Today's date is a very special one. It's a
What is it?
palindrome.
Yes.
Palindrome.
22/02/2022.
2202.
Yeah.
Oh, I should take lots of
2022.
pictures today then.
Yeah, it's all these people that they tend to be I don't know,
Superstitious?
no, I don't want to use the word superstitious, but tend to be nature. They have one thing about how today is one day that you can align with
Yeah,
some.
all the planets are
You
in
know,
some certain
Yeah.
this
you
and
know,
that, blah, blah, blah.
So since comment or one thing. If it's an email, you say so since comment. But yeah, it's 2202 2022. So it's back. Either from back or from front, it reads the same
20,
thing.
yeah.
So that's why it's a
Interesting.
palindrome.
Well, by the way, I wanted to tell a couple of people were wondering who we had yesterday reading the news. His name is Kenny. He's a very nice guy. You guys must have seen him from before, but you'll be seeing him again today do the news, and maybe perhaps it will get him to chat. So we'll see him instead of like this. We'll see him smiling.
Hello and welcome to the news update. I am Kelly Egega. Let's begin with security stories. And in Borno State, as troops of 144 Battalion Madagali in Adamawa State is in conjunction with the Civilian Joint Task Force in the early hours of Monday laid ambush on ISWAP terrorists based on intelligence reports. Now, consequently, scores of the terrorists were killed at Mandara Mountains of Gozo Local Council of Borno State, while assorted weapons, equipment, and unexploded IEDs were recovered. Gozo Local Council is the hometown of the Chairman Senate Committee on Army, Senator Mohammed Alindume, and has been experiencing pockets of attacks by ISWAP. Away from security stories, in the aftermath of the return of two important Nigerian artifacts from Britain, President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to nations, institutions, and bodies, both private and public, to return Nigeria's artifacts in their possession. President Buhari welcomed the official handover on Saturday of the Okuko and the head of an Oba of Benin bronzes to the Oba of Benin, His Royal Highness Oba Iware II. They were repatriated from the University of Cambridge and University of Aberdeen, respectively, in the United Kingdom after 125 years of their leaving the territory of present-day Nigeria. Urging other countries to take a cue from the institutions, the president vowed that the federal government will pursue the repatriation of Nigerian artifacts vigorously. According to his statement on Monday by his special media aide, Garba Shehu, quote, he said the good and proper use of their return in museums and other facilities in conjunction, the president pledged that government would ensure that they are put with the royal families and kingdoms that lost these artifacts. Let's take you outside Nigeria's U.S. President Joe Biden has agreed in principle to hold a summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss the crisis over Ukraine. The White House says the talks proposed by France will only take place if Russia does not invade Ukraine. We have details in this report. In decades, U.S. officials say intelligence suggests Russia is ready to launch a military operation, which Moscow denies. The proposal was announced by the French presidency after two phone calls between President Emmanuel Macron and Mr. Vladimir Putin, which went on for almost 3 hours in total, and followed a 15-minute conversation Mr. Macron had with U.S. President Joe Biden. Mr. Macron's office said details of the possible summit would be discussed during a meeting between U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Thursday.
We are not seeking direct confrontation with Russia.
In a statement that confirmed the proposal, the White House also said Russia appeared to be, quote, continuing preparations for a full-scale assault on Ukraine very soon, and that the U.S. was ready to impose swift and severe consequences should it happen. Russia has massed more than 150,000 troops close to Ukraine's border, according to U.S. estimates. U.S. company Maxar said new satellite imagery showed multiple new field deployments of armored equipment and troops from Russian garrisons near the border with Ukraine, indicating increased military readiness. The Kremlin said Mr. Putin blamed the Ukrainian military for the escalation of tensions. Ukraine has rejected this, saying Moscow is engaged in a provocation campaign aimed at creating a pretext for an intervention. However, the French presidency said both leaders agreed to resume talks through the Normandy format, a group created to resolve the conflict in eastern Ukraine that includes Russia, Ukraine, France and Germany. On the other hand, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Mr. Putin's commitment to Mr. Macron were a welcome sign he might still engage in finding a diplomatic solution. But Mr. Johnson called on Mr. Putin to step back from his current threat and withdraw troops from Ukraine's border. Earlier, Russia announced the extension of military drills in Belarus, where 30,000 Russian troops are deployed that were due to end on Sunday. A Belarusian statement blamed the deterioration of the situation in eastern Ukraine as one reason for extending the exercises. Well, that's the news update. I'll be back at the top of the next hour with more stories. I am Kelly Egiga. Good morning.
Time for us to check out the newspaper headlines. And this morning, we'll begin with the Guardian newspaper. Now, the Guardian newspaper has this: confusion as APC shifts convention to March 26. Nabina insists Buni committee can't be stampeded. Rebirth group cries foul, urges Buhari to wade in. Ex-PGFDG blames scramble by governors, wants CECPC reorganized. Up here we have ECOWAS moves to halt school terrorism with one-year action plan. And we also have this one, court throws out suits challenging Atiku's citizenship. Down here we have, amid revenue crisis, federal government hopeful of $557.2 million windfall from 5G licensees. These and more are the stories in the Guardian newspaper this morning. Now, from the Guardian newspaper, we move straight to Daily Trust. And Daily Trust has this: Buni committee dilly-dallies on APC convention. Exercise fixed for March 26. Yobe governor, others wants convention primary same day. And that's coming from former governors. No ulterior motive in our decisions. All eyes on Buhari as he meets governors today. Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, what Boko Haram told me in 2011, and that's coming from former President Obasanjo. Here we also have federal government loses 3.6 trillion naira from delayed takeoff of e-customs, and that's revealed by the House of Representatives. Here we still have federal government projects ongoing despite Chinese loans delay, and that's coming from Lai Mohammed. Unijust student accused of killing girlfriend turns deaf in court. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And finally, we'll take a look at the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune has this: after a 7-hour meeting, APC fixes convention for March 26. Reverses self on zonal congresses. Aspirants, others fume. 3 governors behind postponement, and that's coming from sources. Up here we see my health is deteriorating, and that's coming from Abba Kyari as court refuses his bail application. Suspended DCP demands 500 million naira in damages from NDLEA. Still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, 4 NSCDC personnel, 6 others killed as gunmen attack Niger community. Court strikes out suits challenging Atiku's Nigerian citizenship. Ex-VIP not too old to govern Nigeria, and that's coming from a group. Here we also have Ogun Direct's closure of schools as new Orimolusi sends through tomorrow. Still on the Nigerian Tribune, NANS gives federal government ASU 7 days to resolve impasse, begins mobilization of members for nationwide protest. Federal government ASU meet today. Now, all of these stories and more you can catch in the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
Welcome. What's up and about here? Well represented by the ladies, Mary and Titi. Now, I've got one for you guys from an instance here. What do you guys think? Do you normally keep receipts for financial efforts that you have done for relatives? Do you keep those receipts or make sure that you don't delete them, you save them separately? Because there are instances of people who say that they've done so much for relatives, but when they go out to tell other relatives, they're like, that I never did it, you know, that type of thing. And I know a personal friend who actually, perhaps separated, he takes care of his wife and his kids. However, she tells the relatives that he's not even sending us anything, Seth. You know. Meanwhile, he's got all these receipts and he sends them somewhere very special, just in case the day of casting comes. He can always, you know, and I'm sure everybody has a story or two about that kind of a thing.
I think that's petty. I don't know. There are some things that to me are almost like crossing the line.
Petty on whose side?
Petty on all sides. Petty on the side of the person who is keeping the receipts. Petty on the side of the person who is causing that person to, because of course it's an effect and cause thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he knows the kind of person he's dealing with is why he's keeping receipts. But that doesn't stop it from being petty. Why on earth will you go and be telling people this person is not doing well for me? And you know he even is. It's a different thing if you say he's not doing enough in your own point of view. But saying he's not making efforts, we're talking about his children here. And that's even besides, we're also talking about relatives.
Relatives too.
Let other people talk first, because I have plenty to say on this matter.
So if you look at it, for me, personally, I don't keep. Because I don't care, but like you said, it depends on what happens. When somebody wants to make you the bad guy, you now have to. So a number of people that do it is not because they want to.
They like
but I mean, think about it. They said, now this is supposed to be your. I mean, we've seen this in the public space, we've seen this in the celebrity space. Someone says you don't pay child support or you don't do something, and because of what they said, I'm like, look, and somebody can, let's say, the mother, your mother-in-law, somebody, you don't take care of your child. Are you then responsible?
How do you prove it?
Yeah, how do you prove it?
So it's not. It depends. It's like almost see, I did do am.
See, I'm here.
There's some
So
really
for
deep
me,
situations.
situations have not called for me. But the thing is that for me, with my mother, I don't care. If I don't do, I do. Life will go.
The truth is
We are nothing but pencil in the house of the Creator.
There are some very deep
Better sign
situations,
checks.
such as family members, God forbid, needing operations, things like holding on to documents that belong to people. There are some things, they're very deep, big issues that sometimes you need to keep that evidence, just for future's sake.
True.
God forbid someone passes on and then there's some kind of claim on some sort of property or whatever to prove yourself.
No, those ones
You
are
keep
different now.
your-
You have to keep.
You need to keep those things.
This one we are talking about.
Because of the way banking systems are now.
You can always.
You can always.
No,
go
you
back.
can't.
Yes.
No,
You can't.
You can always.
After
Why-
a particular period, you can't actually. Yeah, because they need to clear their system just for more information. So they have.
But if
Wow.
your account is mail activated when it comes to alerts, your
Yes,
mail will
yes.
then there is that.
Yes,
Your
yes.
mail
Why
will
doesn't
always-
anybody
so there's
think
always
about
a way. And it's about, I mean, we're in the era of the cloud. You should be able to access anything no matter how far back. If your bank cannot keep something, why
You
are
know,
they
I'm
banking?
actually glad you mentioned this because I was tracing something I was so sure of as far back as 2019. And I was confused because I didn't quite know how to get it.
That's why I was wondering. I'm
It's
like,
3 years, so it's foul.
no, it's not.
3 years is far, Joe.
Okay, go ahead.
And do you know all I did was type out something and then the history,
all came
everything
out.
came out,
Exactly.
and then I just went straight to the dates. And I got it
Exactly.
in just minutes.
So personally, I'm the kind of person that actually keeps records. No matter what. You asked me for something yesterday, boom, bam. Yeah. I like to keep records, maybe because that's just the kind of person I am. I can find anything from 10 years, 18 years ago. If you ask me for it,
You say?
I'll probably get it for you.
10, 18
Can I
years.
touch on the...
Yeah, I'm that old, Mary.
Can I touch on the reason why I feel the lady could have been telling family members he's not doing anything? It could have been a strategy to prevent people from constantly asking for money.
That's another idea.
So
yeah.
if from her or from him.
The anatomy of
so
marriages.
So the thing is, there are a lot of family members that just keep coming back.
Yeah.
School fees, this,
Nah,
that.
that's far-fetched.
See, I'm the one carrying everything. Please don't stress me.
That is a
that's another
strategy
angle.
right there.
That's
Yes,
another angle.
auntie.
Mike,
Titi never disappoints.
No, I'm being serious.
What?
Yes.
How do you do this, Titi?
No,
I did
but that's a fact. That's a fact. There's some people that just have to protect. They're men. There's some men that are so giving, they will just keep giving until they've given away what you are supposed to use for your house to some family members. They do it.
Concept of a devil's advocate.
What?
But there's
this
one
one
that's
would
more
be
far-reaching. Now we should have a term, Titi's advocate. Because she will just enter one corner and
You don't
For
understand.
this one, no, I actually agree because see, you need to create some things
Yes, no.
as a bridge in case of certain issues.
Let me ask. So when you are approached for, please, can you lend me or loan me so and so and so? Who do you say, okay, fine, I'm going to help out, and who do you say I can't?
It's as the spirit leads.
Oh, God bless you.
No, Tony, one, you need to have it first. Because I have been foolish in my life enough. Not once, not twice, but several times. To even borrow money from somebody else.
For someone.
Personally, I'll end it on this note. I've lost friends actually trying to help. When you give out money and they can't give you back, you actually lose them.
No,
lose the money
when
as
I
well.
give money, I always pray to God to just bless me because
So-
it's likely I won't get it back.
I don't give to friends anymore. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't give to friends anymore.
No,
What I will do.
We need to talk about a loan
Wait,
that
you
I've
said-
been thinking of asking for.
Ah, my friend!
I want
You're my
60
friend!
million
You're my friend!
Mazino, I am your brother.
You're my friend!
No, we are brothers.
Not only brothers in Christ.
There's only 515K that I might need for something, brother.
Tell you,
Brother.
tell you
Let
what.
me first collect my 60 million.
Let's go and find this money they are talking about. We'll be back.
Welcome back. Now, have you ever laughed so hard that you felt like you were about to pee? Weird, right? There are some situations that are very personal, very, very personal. And you probably wonder how you can get rid of this problem by keeping it to yourself. Maybe a physiotherapist might be able to help. On Health, we're looking at this really interesting topic, and physiotherapy and incontinence might be the issue you need to hear about. Dr. Remilekun Durojaye is here with us. Now, she has over 33 years of clinical experience, and she's the clinical director for Special Olympics Fun Fitness Nigeria. It's great to have you back in the studio.
Thank you. Nice to be back. Good
All
morning.
right. So the way I started this conversation is funny, in quote, because I did mention if you laugh and then you just pee a little, it does feel very personal. This is something you don't tell anybody. You do not discuss it with anyone. But maybe a physiotherapist might be the person that you need to have the conversation with.
Definitely. A lot of times patients are very embarrassed about it, and they never discuss it. And for women who've had kids, a lot of times if they do bring it up with their physician, they get told, oh, you've had a baby. It's normal. Well, no, it's not normal. It might be common, but it's not normal.
Okay.
And there are things that can be done, exercises, different tools that we have with physiotherapy that can help with incontinence.
Okay, so I know that there are a lot of different charities, organizations that have to do with, you know, the female anatomy and all that, and they do talk about certain diseases and conditions. Could they be related to those conditions?
Yes, I mean, incontinence can be caused by a variety of reasons. And you can be, it's not just after you've had a child.
Okay.
I've treated single young ladies who've never had kids who have incontinence. Sometimes a lot of anything that can go wrong within the pelvis.
Okay.
And one thing I try and educate my patients is the pelvis is full of muscles.
Okay.
And that's what controls your bowel, your bladder. In case of women, your uterus. And in case of men, like their prostate.
Okay.
So there's so many things that can go wrong. It's a muscle. So just like you'll have a muscle dysfunction in your shoulder, in your back, the same thing can happen in the pelvis.
Okay.
So for example, injury. Somebody who rides a bike, cycling,
Yeah.
I've seen and he was a male actually, but had issues with his pelvic floor because he rode so many miles a day.
Okay.
So there's so many things that can actually affect the pelvic floor, aside from childbirth, which is a huge part of it.
Of course, of course. Now, you did mention a lot of muscles, but then there are a lot of organs around there as well. Physiotherapy isn't usually, when you think about physiotherapy, you don't think about internal organs. You think about stretches and exercise and movement. So what exactly can someone do, maybe at home, if they're going through something maybe minor, they've noticed it 1 or 2 times, what can they do to make sure it doesn't get worse?
Well, you see a physiotherapist.
Okay.
But because basically you want to find out what the cause is.
Okay.
Because sometimes your muscles can be very tight, and it can cause, a tight muscle can still be weak and cause incontinence. Sounds like a bit of an oxymoron.
So even if you're very fit, you can still have those issues?
Yes. So somebody who has extremely tight muscles, those muscles never relax. So when you go to sit down to actually pee, the muscles don't relax or allow you to. Or sometimes you lose the ability to contract the muscle. So when you cough or sneeze, we have slow muscles that keep us continent whilst we move around during the day. But you also have what we call fast twitch muscles that when you cough or sneeze, they instantly shut up. Exactly.
Okay.
So if those muscles are constantly tight, then you lose that. For a muscle to contract very well, it has to relax very well. So if that muscle is not relaxed at all, then you're going to have those issues.
So how can physiotherapy help with this situation?
Okay, there's many things that we can do aside from the exercise.
Okay.
You can also do manual therapy.
Okay.
But with pelvic floor rehabilitation, which is what a lot of people call it women's health. But then, you know, you deal with a lot of pre and postpartum after you've had a baby, before you've had a baby. But there are a lot of issues and dysfunctions in the pelvic floor that can occur. So, I mean, you can teach somebody an exercise. You were saying, like, if somebody is coughing or sneezing, basically squeezing the pelvic floor is the act of, say you want to pass gas and you're in a public place and you don't want to do it. That act of holding it in, that's your pelvic floor.
Okay.
And when you're doing your pelvic floor contraction, your stomach shouldn't move.
Wow.
Your buttocks shouldn't move. So none of those, or your leg, people will be squeezing like this and think they're doing pelvic floor. No, you're doing your thighs.
Wow. So when people cross their legs like that, they're actually not doing much.
They're using the mechanics to keep it in.
Okay.
Not the muscle.
So the actual muscle you're working on now is like, the word that comes to mind is your Kegels.
That's
the word?
Typically what everybody knows.
That's what everybody knows.
Yes.
So for women who are pregnant or even postpartum, they're told to do Kegels to tighten that whole area. But I'm thinking about the fact that I'm talking to a physiotherapist about this. Isn't there some other physical motion I can do at home that
Well, there are a lot of exercises you can do in conjunction.
Okay.
Or to help to strengthen your pelvic floor.
Okay.
A lot of people actually don't even realize there are muscles down there.
True.
I've seen a lot of patients that, really? Yes. And you know they're there when they don't work. So, you know, you can do what we call accessory type of muscles. Like you were saying, when you want to pee, you will hold your legs. So you can do a lot of you can use other muscles to help strengthen the pelvic floor, but you really need to, what we do as pelvic floor therapists, you want to get the patient to be able to isolate that muscle.
Okay.
You need to feel it. You need to know when it's working or not working for you to be able to efficiently strengthen.
So now let's go to the darkest part of this. If, for instance, you are going through this now and you do not see a physiotherapist and you do not get it under control, how bad could this get?
It'll get worse, typically. And you go from the sneezing to the coughing to it just happening. When you want to go, by the time you get to the bathroom,
is there a period, a time frame we're talking about? Over
Not really.
Years, over months?
It depends on each person. You know, you find sometimes people say when you get older, it's normal.
Oh, wow.
So getting old and incontinence is not normal either. It happens a lot, sometimes because somebody is too old to get to the toilet. They can't get there in time. So it's more of a physical thing than a muscular issue.
Okay.
But yeah, so sometimes you want to
Just
avoid
it
getting to that point.
I have to say a big thank you to you, Doctor,
welcome.
for coming to talk to us. You probably have a few more questions, a few secret things you'd like to add to this. Well, hopefully, once you see this post, you can comment under there and we can try and answer your questions. We appreciate you. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
All right, so we will be heading to the kitchen at this point. So what are we making?
Chef Star is here with me in the kitchen. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You have a lovely smile. All right, so what are we doing this morning?
Today we're making plain rice and prawn chili sauce.
Plain rice and prawn chili sauce. Say that fast. Plain rice and prawn chili sauce. Plain rice and prawn chili sauce. Okay, so, well, plain rice and prawn chili sauce. And we're working, let's talk about what we're working in, the ingredients that we have here.
Okay.
This is our grass, aka spring
Green
onion. Yes? This green onion.
Green onions, spring onions.
Spring onions, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you can see there, you can take a screenshot. We're working with salt, rice, curry, garlic, ginger, onions, prawns, tomato, bell peppers, green onions, vegetable oil, fresh pepper, and seasoning cubes. Prawn, chili sauce, and plain rice. That means white rice.
Yes.
Why you chefs have a way of trying to make your something so tight and all of that? But yeah, okay, so that's it. So it's quite a simple dish here. This is something for people that maybe will love seafood or something. What if you're not a seafood lover? Well, you just have to find something else.
Chicken.
With chicken, have
Yeah,
you? You'd have brought your option of chicken. would have been best, but hey, come on.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get started.
Okay.
The sauce is the main stuff that I'm going to make because the rice is not a problem. I can teach you how to boil rice. When you boil rice, do you when you wash the first time, do you sieve after you wash the first time, like when it's hot and all that? Do you sieve the rice?
Yes,
you do.
have to.
Some people don't.
I know. I know, but I love to.
Okay. All right.
First
So
of
let's.
all, I'm boiling water for the rice here.
Oh, wait. That's for rice. What for beans? Do you sieve also for beans?
Yes, now.
You sieve for beans?
Yes.
Yeah? And people tell you that if you're sieving, that's the sweetness.
No, I like to sieve, please.
After boiling for a while.
Yes. I
Wow.
like to sieve.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
First
So
I'm boiling the water for the rice, so I'll just add like little oil to it and salt.
why do you put oil?
So it don't stick together. I don't like all this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I've never tried that. Okay, I'll try it. I'll try it. The oil should not be so much, yeah? Just a little bit of the oil, yeah? Okay, all right. That's what we have there. And of course, we have other things. This is quite a very, it shouldn't be so much of a problem to prepare, but but you see the issues with the sauce. Anybody can decide I want to make sauce, but then to make sauce very nice, it will take someone like you, a professional, to do it together, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're cutting our spring onions, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so yeah, that's it on the chopping board. And then some people might have garlic also. Garlic is something that we need, but a lot of people say they don't like, maybe because of the smell it leaves in the mouth or something.
Yes, Lord.
Is there any way to, kind of reduce or make that smell not come out so much?
You can just use the powdered one.
Okay, the powdered one doesn't have that
This
much
powder.
of the...
Yes, although I prefer fresh, but the powder doesn't smell. It's not as strong as the fresh
As
garlic.
the fresh one, okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. I love the way this looks. So, by the way, just to inform you, if you've not yet heard about our cookout is going to be happening this Saturday. That should be the 26th of February. So, if you've not, a lot of videos have already been sent in. So, maybe you might just sneak in there, just put up a creative video of you doing anything. And it's not for professional chefs. So, Chef Star is not going to be part of that one. Because, yes, you even have, see now, Red Dish Chronicle, you from a culinary school, you went to school to learn it. No, not for your type, yeah? It's going to be for you, for those of you at home. You can win 100,000 naira. All you need to do, just go out there on social media and put up that video. You can be doing something, a dish as simple as what we're working on here, you know? And if you resonate with us, with what you do, and you have engagement, we'll call you up and you'll be here on Saturday to win 100,000 naira. Would you like to win 100,000 naira?
Of course.
100K.
Yes, no.
How do we do this thing now? Chef Star's interested, but hey, come on.
Let's tell you guys about the cookout. If you guys haven't heard about it, please do follow the instructions that we're about to give, and you guys could just be winners of 100,000 naira for the Wake Up Nigeria cookout. Check this out.
Can you cook? Do you love to cook? Have you always wanted to cook on TV?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, here is your chance. The Wake Up Nigeria Cookout. 5 contestants, different meals, 1 winner. To participate, post a 2 minutes video showcasing your cooking skills. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria Cookout. And voila, you just might qualify to contest and win the 100,000 Naira cash prize. So, what are you waiting for?
Okay, so we've gone quite some ways. We're putting together stuff for the sauce. Well, first of all, our rice is boiling here. If we can see that here, the rice is boiling. And you sieve it, right?
Yes.
That's how you, after sieving, you're not going to boil it, Abby? No. You just, sieving is the last thing that happens. Okay, I'm learning that. I'll probably try that some other time. But then we are cutting our greens. We already have our green onions. We already have bell pepper here. If you are just joining, we're cooking plain rice, a.k.a. white rice, and prawn sauce, prawn chili sauce. Let's take a look at the ingredients that we're working with here. We have, like I mentioned, seasoning cubes. There's also tomato puree, right? This is tomato puree. Oh, yeah, tomato puree. And then, of course, that's prawn. Is it prawn or shrimps? Both of them are kind of close, yeah? But, yeah, seafood, yeah. But like you can see there, plain rice and prawn chili sauce. We have salt, rice, curry, garlic, ginger, onions, tomatoes, prawns, bell peppers, green onions, vegetable oil, fresh pepper, and seasoning cubes. This is where the hard work is, putting all together, putting all the ingredients that we've cut together to make the sauce. When we're making the sauce, we can just put everything all at once. It's not like there's one particular time to put some different things.
No, I'm not putting everything all at once.
Which one do you start?
With the prawns first, then take it out.
So they used to say that when you're cooking soup, all these things it's just fizzy. That sometimes you pack everything, just put and just cover something.
No.
Have you ever tried that style before?
No.
See, I'm trying to tell you something here that might just work for you. You never know.
Right.
You never know, yeah? Okay, but then we're done with all of this, yeah? We're using oil, yeah? So let's put in the oil now and get started with our sauce. Okay, we'll probably get to show you how this one is going. But yeah, we're almost ready. We'll just have to, next time we come, we'll just show you the sauce.
Yeah.
How we put it all together. Okay? Yeah, so we'll just take this time out now. The first lap of the show is done. The second lap coming right up after this very short recess.
Once again, we bid you a warm welcome to the next round of the show here. Now, if you've been watching the show, head over to our social media pages, please, and do tell us how the show has been so far for you.
Tell us how much you like this burnt orange pair of pants. Just use, give me some. Yeah, just do it. Do it. Do it.
No,
do it.
Never gonna happen.
I didn't think so. But hey, there's still an amazing 45 minutes to come right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, and this is the hour where we switch things up just a little bit.
No.
Now, it's always a different type of energy and excitement in the second half of the hour, so don't go anywhere. Don't you agree?
Yeah, well, hey, I do. I do. But my name is Titilayo.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. In the kitchen, we have Mr. Mike Mesikeno, who's really having fun with the way we're having this breakfast put together this morning.
Yes, sir.
Mike, give me some.
Wow, really?
So, you know, let's just say something about Mazino, first of all. So, imagine on his own, he just stand up and say, I cannot do, give me some. Who told you to do it? That's how we started to do at-you. Mazino actually did at-you. Like, you can imagine old man like Mazino be doing like at-you. Old man like that.
You know you're doing this squash.
So, the reason why he said this is that we finally do that, give me some. And they say, I didn't want to do it, they made me do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mazino Appeal. And of course...
I mentioned my name earlier.
My name is Titilayo.
You're trying to change the subject. You're definitely going to give us some eventually.
No.
But use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to see it happen. We will make it happen. Mike and I will gang up on you. Mary is the person to make you do it. Remember, you can also watch us live absolutely anywhere across the world. Use our mobile app, Google Play, iOS. No matter what you're using, we are right there.
We implore you guys to also follow us on social media. We are at TVC Connect. And by the way, do remember now, put in your entries for the Wake Up Nigeria Cookout.
Yes,
it's almost here. We can still get you in. We need 5 of you guys contesting. Let's see those videos. Make sure you do something spectacular. We're going to pick you guys. Bring in your posse of friends and family. Yeah. Come over, cheer you up as you strive. What is that word? Strive? Strive to win.
Yeah. 100,000
exactly.
naira.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to say. Now, we have quite a lot still to come. We have parenting coming your way. Modupe Enyila, the founder of iMom Zone, a platform for moms focused specifically for first-time pregnant, first-time new, first-time toddler moms. We're going to be discussing training or raising a child. We also have a performance coming your way. Can't wait for this one, actually. Bajulaye Oluwaseun is coming into the studio today. Now, this is someone who believes in the power of music for edification. We'll be having a spirit-filled rendition very soon. Of course, we have a guest coming your way. Kayode Kasum is a Nigerian movie and music video director, and he recently won an award. We'll talk about that later on. An interesting conversation coming your way. All right, man. The week is really flying.
Yeah. I just saw something that made me just piqued my interest.
Okay.
Davido versus a US-based show promoter.
Okay.
You know, have you ever been somewhere you expected people to know you?
And
I
they
know
don't.
you all are celebrities.
Yeah. Okay, finish and I'll tell you what happened.
Have you ever been somewhere where you went and you expected them to know? Don't you know me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always hope they don't.
Exactly, because look, with no due respect to anybody, I mean, I want to be myself. I will stroll out of my house with boxers and my shirt and go to buy granola across the street. I don't want to.
I won't do that, but I get what you mean. You want to be free.
So there's this back and forth. The video goes like, you can't book. I don't know exactly what started it, but the issue is she says she doesn't know him, and it's not a crime not to know somebody. But we know Davido is a global superstar.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard because she's a show promoter. So you cannot, I mean, this is one of the top 2, 3, 4 Afrobeat artists.
Let's make it worse.
In Nigeria,
what if the guy
people
said?
don't know Justin Bieber, and
Yeah.
he's like
What if the
one
guy
of the biggest.
had said, no, but I know Wizkid?
No, but she's a show promoter.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
She
she's a
might
show
not know
promoter.
everybody.
She should do her research.
She should.
She should do her
she's a
research,
bad
but she
show
might not
promoter.
know.
Yeah, then. That's
She's not the kind of show promoter you should book there.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll
If
tell
I'm
you
a
who you
show
should go.
promoter,
True.
You understand?
I would never say I don't know you. I would probably
It
say
depends.
I would
You guys
probably
did
play
not
along.
describe the kind
no.
of
And
show
then
promoter.
maybe
She might be
Google
a
him.
local show
Gets you in
promoter.
more problem.
Only American artists. she
Mary,
does
you're
it.
doing it now.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
play along.
Oh, but to tell you what,
doing just
this is the
local
fact is,
artists.
at the airport on Wednesday, I was approached by a guy who was 6'4", came to me, stretched out his hand, and he said to me the words, "Mr. Mike Mexicano."
No! He did it.
So how should I have felt? This actually happened.
Wow.
They
But
recognized
they
me
called you by somebody
as
else's
the full name. Mr. Mike
You
Mexicano.
see why being an Aguero.
You see, they don't know all these things. See, look, let me tell you, if this is to pay, they say, Mr. Mike Mexicano, I have $5,000 check for you.
Oh, wow.
Recognize me. Don't recognize me if you don't have check for me.
So, you know, it can be very awkward when you enter a space and people are looking at you and you're like, please don't. And one of the blessings for me personally is face mask.
All right.
Even though it doesn't work all
Also
the
that she's 6'2" and she could beat you up if you get it wrong.
know,
Don't
man.
call her
She-
Titi.
Hello again, you're watching the news updates and we absolutely appreciate it. I am Kelly Egiga. Let's begin with security stories. And in Borno State, where troops of 144 Battalion Madagali Adamawa State, in conjunction with the Civilian Joint Task Force in the early hours of Monday, laid ambush on ISWAP terrorists based on intelligence report. Consequently, scores of the terrorists were killed at Mandara Mountains of Wozel Local Council of Borno State, while assorted weapons, equipment, and unexploded IDs were recovered. Gwazo Local Council is the hometown of the Chairman Senate Committee on Army, Senator Ali Ndume, and has been experiencing pockets of attacks by ISWAP. Away from security stories, in the aftermath of the return of 2 important Nigerian artifacts from Britain, President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to nations, institutions and bodies, both private and public, to return Nigeria's artifacts in their possession. The president welcomed the official handover on Saturday of the Okuko and the head of an Oba of Benin bronzes to the Oba of Benin, His Royal Highness Oba Ewere II. They were repatriated from the University of Cambridge and University of Aberdeen, respectively. in the United Kingdom after 125 years of their leaving the territory of present-day Nigeria, urging other countries to take a cue from the institutions. The president vowed that the federal government will continue to pursue the deportation of Nigerian artifacts vigorously. According to a statement on Monday by his special media aide, Garba Shehu, to good and proper use on their return and museums and other facilities in conjunction, the president pledged that government would ensure that they are put with the royal families and kingdoms that lost these artifacts. Now let's take you outside Nigeria, where U.S. President Joe Biden has agreed in principle to hold a summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss the crisis over Ukraine. The White House says the talks proposed by France will only take place if Russia does not invade its neighbors. We do have details in this report. Denies the proposal was announced by the French presidency after 2 phone calls between President Emmanuel Macron and Mr. Vladimir Putin, which went on for almost 3 hours in total, and followed a 15-minute conversation Mr. Macron had with U.S. President Joe Biden. Mr. Macron's office said details of the possible summit would be discussed during a meeting between U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Thursday.
We are not seeking direct confrontation with Russia.
In a statement that confirmed the proposal, the White House also said Russia appeared to be, quote, continuing preparations for a full-scale assault on Ukraine very soon, and that the U.S. was ready to impose swift and severe consequences should it happen. Russia has massed more than 150,000 troops close to Ukraine's border, according to U.S. estimates. U.S. company Maxar said new satellite imagery showed multiple new field deployments of armored equipment and troops from Russian garrisons near the border with Ukraine, indicating increased military readiness. The Kremlin said Mr. Putin blamed the Ukrainian military for the escalation of tensions. Ukraine has rejected this, saying Moscow is engaged in a provocation campaign aimed at creating a pretext for an intervention. However, the French presidency said both leaders agreed to resume talks through the Normandy format, a group created to resolve the conflict in eastern Ukraine that includes Russia, Ukraine, France and Germany. On the other hand, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Mr. Putin's commitment to Mr. Macron were a welcome sign he might still engage in finding a diplomatic solution. But Mr. Johnson called on Mr. Putin to step back from his current threat and withdraw troops from Ukraine's border. Earlier, Russia announced the extension of military drills in Belarus, where 30,000 Russian troops are deployed that were due to end on Sunday. A Belarusian statement blamed the deterioration of the situation in eastern Ukraine as one reason for extending the exercise. And with that reports, we conclude our news update. We urge you to keep it here on TVC for the rest of the breakfast show. I am Kelly Egiga. Good morning.
All right, it's time for us to talk parenting, and to do justice to that with me is Modupe Eyinla. I got that. I'm very sure. Eyinla. Eyinla.
Yes,
Yeah. Eyinla. Yes. That's a good future, bright future, more like. She is the founder of iMom Zone, a platform for mothers which is focused specifically for first-time pregnant, new, and toddler moms. And so today we will be discussing the training or raising of a child. Which are you doing? Now, before you go, let me first welcome her. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's absolutely our pleasure. Now, for some people, they're like, training and raising a child. That is like, it's one and the same. There's no difference. So what exactly is training a child and what is raising a child? So we can now define it.
Okay, so even the dictionary said training a child is to teach them skills, behaviors, maybe through instructions over a period of time. Raising, however, is to nurture, to care for, to make sure your child is eating, your child is loved. That's okay, that's fine. But some parents don't even know the difference between, they don't even know if they're doing both or they're just raising that child, making sure the child is fine, the child is okay, I don't need to do any other thing. But it's important that we instill values in our kids to, avoid future deficiencies in them.
So that's actually a very great way to separate it.
Yes.
So how can we raise a child and how can we train a child? You know, there are two different things.
Yeah,
so let's talk first about how we can raise a child, and then we'll talk about how we can train a child.
In raising a child, it's really important that your kids know that they're loved, they're valued, they're important. You need to show them that they're an important part of the family.
Loved, valued,
yes,
important.
Yes, important part of the family. And in training a child, you need to instill values in them. You need to teach them empathy. You need to teach them resilience. Self-confidence, respect.
Self-control as
Self-control. It's really important because there are some kids, there's some parents that will never scream or eat their kids, but guess what? Some of these kids hit. There are some parents that would share, and some of these kids will not share, especially toddlers.
Yes, I agree.
They won't share. So it's important that you let them know why they need to share and why sharing is a good virtue or character to have. So that's where training comes in. You train by example as well. I mean, children see, children do, like I always say. So it's important that your kids, you instill good values in your kids.
Now, realistically, Modukwe, these days, many parents are actually raising their children. They aren't doing that training part.
I agree.
And they feel, oh, it's always, you know, one and the same. There's no big deal. I'm doing the right thing. At least I'm raising my children. So for such situations, how can you create that balance? How can you be able to raise your child right and still be able to train the child without doing excess of either? It's
up to you. You know your kids. So it boils down to parenting styles. You have one, two, 3 kids. Then you need to separate, okay, do I have to be an authoritarian with this one, or do I have to be permissive with this child? How do I go about it? It's important that you know the difference.
Knowing them.
Yes, knowing your kids true, and then applying the right parenting style to each of your kids and training them the right way. There's some kids that you don't even need to, you know, teach self-confidence. They're so confident that you'd be like, oh, this one is God-given confidence.
Yeah.
So your work at that point is the shepherd, is to nurture, is to make sure to teach the right things.
So that self-confidence doesn't even turn to arrogance.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what you need to do at that point.
Okay. Now, I just want to paint a scenario where, you know, you're doing so well at training your child. You understand? You're instilling discipline, you're instilling values, you're ensuring the child has virtues and all. Is it possible while you're doing that to neglect raising that child right?
Yes, it's possible that you neglect the child by not showing love to that child. You're training the child and you're saying, oh, you don't have to do this. You know, when you tell the child the reason why, that is you showing love. That is you raising the child. See, I did not just scold you. Here is the reason why.
So you scold, you train, then you now use the raising part.
Yeah, you have to show love, at the same time be firm. That is it. Be firm, train, show love. That's you raising your child.
You know, all this talk about parenting makes you feel like it's a full-time job, really.
It is a full-time job.
And so you ask yourself, with the way things are now, mom's working, dad's working, how can you even be able to run this through successfully and still be able to hold down your jobs and live your lives?
To be candid, parenting, you have to be intentional. It's being intentional. Parenting is, raising and training a child is like gardening. In gardening, you cannot just believe that after planting and watering, that's it. No. It's not just by giving them basic needs and saying, oh, don't do that. That's it. No. You need to have conversational relationship with your kids. Age-appropriate conversations. They're really, really important. Your child is 2. You're talking to your child like your child is 10. No. It's really important that we have conversation. At this age, conversational relationship is
very
key.
important.
Very, very important.
Yeah. And you know, that brings me to another question. This age, so many things have changed. In our time, I feel old. it was a different dynamics, but things really have changed now.
Yeah.
Well, just as you've already advised us, I guess many parents should be able to apply these skills and still be able to create a balance as parents used to do
Being intentional.
back in the days. Being intentional, that's the key word. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you for having me.
We really enjoyed this conversation.
Oh, wow. Welcome back. Now, a conversation we've been looking forward to.
Indeed.
is with this amazing Nigerian movie and music video
Get to
director.
it.
I'm talking about one of the highest grossing movie directors in Nigeria. He's right here. Oh, yeah, say his name. Say his name.
Kayode Kasum is with us. He's a Nigerian movie director and also video director, music video director, and of course, it's grand to have you here, Kayode.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I've seen your work. I'm a big fan. We're going to be talking about plenty of it. But what I'm not a fan of is that you came in here and you were telling Titi that you're a big fan of her and her husband. It's okay, Oshe. People are a fan of Titi and her husband. The Oscars. I mean, what do they call it? No problem. Us that don't have fans.
Wow.
It's okay.
Wow.
I'm a fan.
Of who? Do you know me?
Way to roll out the red carpet.
Yeah. It's the
seriously.
Mazzino carpet.
Yeah.
I take no prisoners, but fantastic, man. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for taking out time from your extremely busy schedule. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then congratulations.
Oh, okay, yes.
He
This is true.
recently won the Future Award for filmmaking.
Yeah.
Really, really, really. How did that feel? How did that feel?
Really don't know how, because in my mind I already won it because when I say not before the award, before the nomination, because I love film. And for me, that's just what keeps me going.
Okay.
So it didn't matter if I got it or not, but now that I have it, I'm extremely happy about it and grateful.
Yeah. You directed for Castle and Castle.
Yes.
Was that Castle and Castle? That was you?
Yes.
Okay, that's fantastic. Because I loved Castle and Castle. I saw a very different kind of production for Nigerian television, something that was very, very captivating. Not that it didn't exist, but this was, it was just something about it. What was the experience like working with Moa Budu?
It was first time working with her, so pretty nervous, but got on set and she had already created this environment that was just easy for any creative to do art, and that was it. I felt like, oh, every step I take, Mabudu is going to ask me why I'm doing this, but no, like it was. She really respected the role of a director and just let me do me.
That's fantastic. That was the easy question. The hard one is, would you have done better for Chief Daddy 2?
That's a hard question.
I know. I crafted it.
Yes, but I say art is very relative, and I've met people who really like the film. And I've met people who don't. But the thing about film is, I think for Nigeria and Nollywood, we're all figuring it out. There's no perfect formula.
There's no template
to make a film. So I felt like it was a good production. I had a few good laughs, and can't wait to see what next the Winning Life team will bring.
You've had the opportunity to work on different types of productions, and we've seen your work in different lights, from Sugar Rush to, I think, Fate of Alakada. Right?
Yes.
Alakada.
You got it right.
I did?
Oh,
I need a medal.
So. But they're almost completely opposite. You know, so a lot of directors are seen, like the way, when you see a Spielberg film, you know it's Spielberg. Have you ever tried to develop an identity with your filmmaking, or do you like to be versatile?
I think film experts will say my identity is an underdog stories.
Okay.
I like it. So no matter what genre or film I'm playing with, I'm always making stories for the everyday Nigerian, for the common man. So I have underdog stories, just like Sugar Rush. You have three sisters who want to achieve something. Let's say they want to jackpot. Which is like basically how you say 80 to 90% of Nigerians feel. So most of my stories, a common theme you always find is underdog stories. I would like to say it's me just trying to tell a story about my life, really, but it's mostly I like telling stories of the people that I grew up with, and I always find ways to just infuse them into whatever project that I'm handling.
Was part of your life inside Sole?
Yes.
Sole is it the Yoruba one?
No, Sole is
the one with Adunia Day.
Yes.
So it wasn't, but it was a very interesting story, that one. And what part of you was in that story?
Sole actually originated from a trip that I took to I used to cover weddings. So I was a wedding videographer, and I still had like a 9 to 5. So I went to cover a wedding in Kaduna on Saturday. Then I had to take the night Saturday. I had to take the night bus back to Lagos. So on our way in the night bus, they just woke us up, and I was like, they're robbing in front.
Wow.
We had to hide in the bush. And I just put that in the back of my mind someday that I was going to make a film like this.
Nice.
And that's how Sole came to life. I was like, Aduni approached us that she wanted to make a film, a blockbuster. And I was like, I have this idea that I've been dying to do. Are you ready to do it? Let's make a film in a moving bus. She agreed.
You also direct 4 Yoruba movies as well, yeah?
Not really, but most films that I do have Yoruba titles.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
I've always wondered about that. Having a film that's not exactly a Yoruba film have a Yoruba title. How does that work, though? Aren't you afraid of the audience being sort of
Casting.
sidetracked?
Yeah, the audience already.
I think I find a way to perfectly do that or market it well. Because I think first and first, what makes us different is who we are. I'm Nigerian. I am a Yoruba man. My name is Kayode, and I tell Nigerian stories. And sometimes I do not try to force the Yoruba title on a film. Sometimes it's just the right thing to do. Okay. And we always find a way to balance it. So, for example, our first release for teaser on Sole was actually an Igbo man having a narrative about the teaser in Pidgin. Nice. So the title is Sole, you know what Sole is about, but you see this Igbo man played by Sean Fakwa having a narrative on the teaser for the film, you automatically in your head just figure out it's a Nigerian film. Okay. And it's not tied to any culture or traditional demographic in any way.
Okay.
I find that really intense, shooting a film in a bus.
Yeah.
Now, I'm thinking about all the challenges you must have gone through with that kind of production. First of all,
it's not going to be cool in there. It's going to be really hot, firstly.
Goodness me. I don't know how. So, what are the things that you dreaded the most about that production?
Well, the first 8 days was to be shot in the bus. I can remember, like, on the 8th day, when we shot the last scene, I said, thank God I don't have to come back to this bus again. But it's a lot. It's a lot when you have Shola Shobo Ali, you have Aduni Ade in a moving bus that's actually moving. And we had to deal with a lot of heat and people on the road. It's kind of like a lot. But thank God, I think for the actors, they were just all excited about the first Nigerian film that's going to be done in a moving bus. And that just kept us going.
Wow. Any police issues? Any drama on the road?
You know now.
He says with a wink.
Yes, he does.
I can imagine. Okay, so let's talk about streaming services and our products out there for the world to see. I mean, these streaming platforms have made it not just the Nigerian thing, but now everybody can see your work. Yeah. As a director, how have you enjoyed from that largesse? Are you looking forward to? And what are your thoughts on the preference for Nigerian content outside of Nigeria?
I think it's an amazing thing right now to be living in this time as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, because even feedback that I get from my films, like I have fans in Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Malawi, and you don't tell yourself I'm a Nigerian filmmaker. Like you don't say I'm a Nollywood director. You say I am a filmmaker because I make films for the world. So I'm happy about these platforms.
Nice.
And what they are doing and how they are boosting the economy and just giving filmmakers more life.
I also noticed you haven't infiltrated your movies with TikTokers or skit makers. Is that intentional? Please be free and honest.
Wow.
Do you dread them?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's a bit too hard. Do you want to be purist?
Okay, so not really. I see everybody, the world is changing, by the way. So before it was the filmmakers who studied art and the filmmakers here who went to school, studied theater arts and on the stage, that went through the grind, that went through all the auditions. But now the world is changing. Nobody does auditions anymore. Auditions are the videos that you post on your Instagram, short stories. Wow. So I think as the world is changing, as filmmakers, we are beginning to accept other forms of storytellers and creators. So yes, sometimes I might shoot a film with a famous TikToker, but at the same time, I would just like to point out that filmmakers are really good businessmen. And we just look at, okay, if we don't have marketing money, why not I cast this person to post about my film? So it's more of like a win-win situation, using those platforms to push your film and still tell a good story.
You don't see it as adulterating the craft, because those pure actors, the stage theater actors, they're going to give you a good performance, and you know you're going to get a good performance. I'm even
wondering if there is a certain mentality, you know, TikTokers against the real actors. What do they do when they come together? Do they like, no, it's not my category?
Yeah, like I think
they do that.
Industry secret is they hate each other. But I think as the years will continue to go by, they're going to finally find a way and work with each other and just love each other, because like I'm going to say again, the world is changing. But you are right. In terms of, I try personally with my films, try to cast people for the right roles.
Okay.
Sometimes I might see something that I think an influencer or a TikToker has done that I like, that I think will help this character. Also, sometimes you cast these people because they bring different type of audiences to your cinema screens.
Okay.
You don't want to make a film that is always targeted towards a certain type of people. You know that for us to grow the cinema audience, you need young people from the young, fresh audience. So you always have to just find a way to have a variety of different people that make the film work.
It's all about balance.
It is all about balance. Thank you, man. I mean, it's been very interesting having this conversation with you. I know through a couple of those kind of like rope-a-dope questions. I'm sorry, but hey, we had to know.
You came really strong there, man.
Hey, you must be hungry, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Let's
feed the
it's
man,
time for breakfast. All right, so head over to the kitchen.
No, aren't you going with? Oh, Mary's there to take care of him. Fantastic.
Hello, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
After giving this food, if you don't cast me in movie, that next movie that you shoot is only as someone will sell it. Great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
sir.
So we got plain rice and what's in our prawn sauce. I hope you love seafood, yeah?
Everybody does.
Everybody does. Not everybody, oh. Not everybody. Okay, all right. Let's have it here and just try it. Just have a taste of it. Just try it. Just try it.
Okay.
And let's see what you think about it.
What's in this?
So the way he's mixing it now, I already have sub-lead roll. Let's see after it tastes it if I have lead roll.
Oh, this is really nice.
Is it?
Thank you.
Please, what's his number? His next movie, if he does not cast me, but of course, Chef Star put this together.
Thank you, Chef.
And thank you for trying it out.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, it's been a wonderful show. Thank you for being a part of the show. See you tomorrow. Titi, Mazino.
Have a great day, everyone.
All right.
Thank you very
See ya.
much, people.
Bye-bye.
Bye.